Welcome back. In this video, we're going to go over how to create your MyOpenMath account and some of the basic features of MyOpenMath you'll need in order to get our work done. So the first step will be to go to myopenmath.com. You should see a screen that looks something like this. If you've used MyOpenMath before, you can use the same credentials if you want and then just add this course, or you can just create a whole new account. MyOpenMath is free, so to make it simpler, you may just want to create a whole new account. So we're going to go through here and register as new student. If you wish, like I said, if you've used this before, you can use a username and password that you already have. We're going to go with register as new student. And then this should be pretty simple. You've probably done this before. Pick a username. Use something you can remember. I don't care what you choose. Put in a password twice. Unfortunately, they don't tell you what the requirements are until after you've done it. But pick a password that you can remember. First name and last name. For this, if you could pick the same name as you have on Canvas and Canvas and Self-Service, then that'll help me to get the grades matched up correctly. So appreciate that. Also, please put your first name in the first name spot and your last name in the last name spot. Email address that you actually check. If I do send you messages through MyOpenMath, it'll go to that email address. Notifications if you want to tell you when you've gotten a new message. Indicate that you're 13 years old or older. Click the Terms of Use button. And then course ID, we're going to need, that will be 316587 for this semester. The enrollment key, you can leave that blank. Okay. Once you click that, click sign up. One second. And then you'll see a screen that looks a little bit like this. You won't see any messages in the front. You probably will not see any courses you're teaching. Under courses you're taking, you should see Math 10 Online Spring 2026. We will go ahead and click on that. And then you should see a screen, hopefully, that looks like this. Some navigation aspects, messages. You can use that to send and receive messages. Forums, click on that, see what it does. You won't need it for this class, but you can click on it if you like. Calendar is kind of useless because the calendar is right here in front of us anyways. And then course map, you can click on that, see what it does. Gradebook does just what you think it does, as does logout and help using MyOpenMath. Across the top in purple, course, if you happen to have more than one MyOpenMath course, you can use that to switch between the two. Other than that, messages, forums, calendar, and gradebook duplicate the same functionality as you saw down the left side. So it doesn't do a whole lot there. You don't have this view instructor student quick rearrange buttons. Only I do. And then other than that, the main thing we'll need is the items down below. So looking first down here, we have course information, and there's the same kind of triangle navigation system as Canvas has. When the triangle is pointed to the right, that means that the block is closed. When the triangle is pointing downward, that means that the block is open. So far, we have the syllabus, and that's the same syllabus as you saw on Canvas, so you don't have to go back to Canvas to see the syllabus. A link to our textbook, you can click on that. There's an intro to MyOpenMath assignment that you can use if you want practice entering answers, how to type in fractions and square roots and things like that. That assignment's optional and it's not worth any points. So if you want to just get a feel for MyOpenMath, you can do that. But if you skip it, it doesn't cost you anything. All right, so that's here under course information. Videos and additional open resources are basically just that. If you want extra books to look at or Khan Academy videos, some people like those. Other videos are available too. So just more resources if you like. Beyond that, our first kind of set of content, we have prerequisite review. In here, so far there's fractions, order of operations, and then linear equations and inequalities. We'll go further into that in a little bit. Down here under functions, we have sections 1.1 and 1.2. We saw in the first video where we went over the syllabus that those are the lectures that are available now, and so far these sections are available. All right, moving back up to the calendar, we can see that there are several assignments that are available. Starting on the 28th, there's a review assignment, and then there's also assignments for sections 1, and 1, 2. If you want to see details on what those assignments are about, click down here where it says Show All, and then it'll show the titles for those assignments, and they are organized by date. Uh, Moving downward, here under Prerequisite Review, we'll see under Fractions. If you scroll down here, it says fractions exercises. That is the same as this assignment. So, and is also the same as this assignment. It's just that they're listed in multiple places. It can look like there's a whole lot of assignments, but it's just they're listed in multiple places. Some people prefer to work off of the calendar or the descriptions below that. Some people prefer to work off of the chapters and sections that appear below. As far as this fractions section that you're seeing here, there's a bunch of videos and a textbook link. The way that I would approach this, because it can be kind of intimidating that there's all this stuff that you have to look at, what I would do in the case of the review assignments is start with the assignment. So in this case, the fractions exercises. And if you run into trouble, the difficulty, then you can go back and look at the videos if you like. If you go through the exercises, the reviews, and can do the problems just fine, there's no need to go back through and watch all the videos. So that's what I would do is I would start with the assignment and then work on, look at the videos if I needed help with it. Down here in order of operations, again, there's an assignment on order of operations and some videos that cover that as well. In chapter 1, as I said, there's this for section 1.1, there's a video assignment and also a regular assignment. And section 2, same, you have a video assignment and a regular assignment. Some people can get kind of overwhelmed with all these kind of blocks that open and close and all the scrolling back and forth. So some people prefer just to work through kind of the calendar here. If you do go by the calendar, just make sure that it is centered on like the correct week. You can click on Now to make it centered on just the correct week. You'll notice if you go backward, it looks like there's nothing here, and that's because the calendar now runs from December 28th to January 24th, which is, of course, before the class started. So if you click on Now, that'll put you at the current week, and you can see I'm making this video right here. January 25th. And so you can see what's coming up this week and then for the next 4 weeks. So work through the calendar if you like, or through kind of the boxes or blocks that appear below. Wanted to show you next how an assignment looks. So we'll start with the fractions exercises one. Let me click on that. It gives me a little information about it. There's 14 points, the day that it's due. Let me start that. And I'm going to skip all the videos and stuff. And let me just do a question here right now. 60 over 75, we're to write that in lowest terms. So that's 15s, right? 60 is 4 times 15, 75 is 5 times 15. So it should be 4/5. When I click in the answer box, you'll see that it gives a symbols menu. If you want to enter fractions, you can do that. Let me click on that and you'll see it. It gives us space for the numerator and denominator. So there's 4, there's 5, and then let me click on submit question. Okay, all right, so it looks like I got that right. I have a green check mark, everything looks nice. Okay, let me show you how one looks if I do it incorrectly. Let me get one that will be fast for us. 3/17 plus 14/17 should be 17/17. But let me see how it looks if I do it wrong. 17/17, let me say that I got that wrong and put 18/17. Okay. All right, so that's incorrect. So I got, instead of a green check mark, I get a red X. Pretty simple. I could retry the questions, or maybe I could just fix it. We'll make that 17/17. Okay, still wrong. So what do you think I did? Well, 17 over 17 is the same as 1, right? So maybe we should just enter 1. Some of the questions like this, we do get multiple attempts. Depend how many attempts you get is dependent on what type of question it is. Since this is a review, we get a lot of attempts to try things out. All right, so that's good. I think I'm finished with that for right now. So I'm going to stop. So with the assignments, unlike the tests, you can start and stop the assignments as much as you want until they're due. So I'm going to quit this for right now. I get a little score. It's small because I didn't do anything much. I have a record of which questions are right and how many points I got. Up to the right where it says resume, we can go back into it or we can just exit. When you are done with an assignment, you don't have to do anything separately to like turn it in or anything. It just sits there and I can access your grade at any time. So you don't have to separately try to turn in the assignment somehow. Once the assignment's due, it's over. It's just kind of the grade is there and I can see it. All right, let's try section 1.1 a little bit. I clicked on 1.1 in the calendar and it brought up just this one here. So let me start that. Okay, for navigation here, you'll notice it says question one. There's a drop down. You can choose a specific question if you want. Let's try number nine, I guess. You know what? I don't think I feel like doing that. So you can also navigate questions with the less than and greater thans. Those work like arrows. So let me go to the next question. Let's see if we can find something easy. All right, well, we haven't done this section yet, so let's not do this one very much. Yeah, all of this is going to take more time than we have. So forget that. I don't want to do any of this right now. So let's try section 1.2 instead. Awkward silence. Okay, 1.2. 1.2 is about domain and range. There's a video assignment. Maybe I should try the video assignment first. Let me start that. The way the video assignments work, it says to learn the material for each section, take notes while watching each video, and then demonstrate what you learned by doing the exercise below it. So first question, we'd watch the video. There's actually a couple videos, and then find the domain of this function. So I think I'm going to try it without watching the video, but you probably should watch the video. Domain of the function. We haven't talked about functions or f of x or anything yet, but I can tell you that domain has to do with the set of allowed values for x that we can replace the variable with. And so division by zero is undefined. So in particular, if x was 3, we'd have 3 minus 3 or 0 in the denominator, and that's forbidden. So x can't be 3. So this, I think, is the correct choice. I'm going to submit that question. And it's correct. If you didn't understand any of that, mostly, that's okay. We haven't actually covered section 1.2 yet. I'm just showing you how MyOpenMath works. All right, so I'm done with that. Again, I don't feel like doing any more of it, so we're going to stop right here. So far, I've only got 25% of it. I'm going to leave, though. You can click on Gradebook and see how you're doing. If I do it here, it's just going to complain because I'm not actually a student, and this is just kind of a student mode, so it's not going to be helpful. But if you click on Gradebook, it's going to show how you're doing at any time. So this is basically how this works. You go on on Canvas, read through the notes, watch the videos there, the video lectures, and then you go on to MyOpenMath and work through the assignments. At the beginning here, we'll have a fair amount of prerequisite kind of review things on arithmetic and earlier algebra. And then as we proceed more, it'll be more just the kind of main textbook part, chapters 1 and beyond. So basically the plan, go on Canvas, notes, videos, MyOpenMath, work through the assignments, try to work through them in order. Keep an eye on the due dates. If you feel like you're not going to have time to get everything done, probably for this you will, but later maybe you don't. If you don't have time to get everything done, it's best if you do parts of each section rather than trying to finish like one whole assignment and completely ignoring others. So you're better off doing like little bits of multiple sections than you are just doing all of one whole section, if that makes sense. All right, that takes us to the end. We set up our MyOpenMath account. We played around with it a little bit. Like Canvas, you won't break anything by clicking on stuff, so feel free to click and explore. If you need any help with it or run into any questions, then let me know. Again, yeah, if you have any questions, let me know, and have a great day.